Good evening. Good evening, chaps. How the devil? I am fresh back, shaved from a lockdown hairdo. My brother cut my hair with a broken bottle, and here we are. Beggars can't be choosers. Unless you're one of those particularly strange women in the naffy who's hideously ugly but somehow thinks you're really, really attractive, and at which point beggars can sometimes be choosers. But unless you're deployed in Iraq and you're a morbidly obese howling bird who's constantly got blokes lining up to shag you, beggars can't be choosers. So except for that, beggars can't be choosers, which explains the freshly shorn haircut. Yeah, I've been scalped. It's the way it works. I'm starting to recede in my old age. My V-head used to be a lot lower. But fortunately, because I had a bit of a monkey I had a 3-head rather than a 4-head. It doesn't actually look like I'm going bald that badly because I had such an unnaturally small, monkey-faced forehead that now I've actually got a 4-head as opposed to a 3-head. It sort of makes me look like a normal human instead of a balding man. Good, eh? So I only had to deal with looking like a gibbon for the first 32 years of my life. And then it started to slowly bald, and now I look normal. Great. Right, normally I don't... Someone lowered my ears. I've only got little lugs, me. Weird that, innit? They used to call me John Regis when I was in school. Remember John Regis, the athlete who had proper tiny lugs? Gladstone Small, there's another funny one. Does anyone remember Gladstone Small? Because if you do remember Gladstone Small, I've got a joke about it. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Sure, there we go. Oh no, I'm hiding that. I don't like to constantly... anything to do with Nazis, I try to keep off the chat. Sorry about that. Russell, feel free to pitch in. I don't normally moderate my comments anyway. They just get hidden whoever YouTube decides to hide. Anyone remember Gladstone Small? No, let me just quickly Google him, because then I can tell you the joke. Yeah, okay, so that's Gladstone Small. Cricketer. Barbadian-born cricketer. Hell of a cricketer, like. Hell of a cricketer. I'm not slagging off Gladstone Small. There he is. So the joke, if you just want to hear it, I went off on a tangent, but I just remembered that and it's good. So here's the joke. Ian Botham is at a pub at his local having a pint, and someone comes in. He says, "Does anyone know anything about tortoises?" He says, "Tortoises? I know something about them." He says, "I'm an animal lover." The bloke says, "Well, what's wrong with me tortoise for no reason that I can understand? His head went back into his shell like 3 days ago, and he's never come back out. I'm really worried about him. Like, he's not eating, he's not drinking. I think it might tee him off if I don't square him away." So Ian Botham says, "I've got this, mate." He says, "Pass him here." So he passes him his tortoise and has a look. Sure enough, he can't see its head. It's right there, down in his shell. So Beefy puts the tortoise in his left hand, puts his finger in his mouth, sucks it, and then he jams it in the back hole, and the tortoise's head comes flying out, and he's like, "Hey, you clever bastard." And the tortoise looks none the worse for wear. Just looks quite happy. Gives him back. He goes, "Hey, go on out and feed your tortoise." He says, "You clever bastard, how did you know to do that?" And he says, "How do you think we get a tie on Gladstone Small?" Anyway, that's my Gladstone Small gag. So all I wanted to talk about tonight it's going to be a quick one. Is I seen this and I thought it was really important to sort of get the word out before I. The old ones are the best, Steve. Yes, they are. I wanted to get the word out before it gets took off the internet. Because obviously I was whinging about the SNP this weekend. Because they're shocking. They behave like all tin pot far left fucking scumbags when they get a hint of power. They're just shocking, you know, really distasteful shit. Where's the boom boom? I don't have the technological know-how to put a boom boom in like Basil Brush. All right, RP, how you doing? Rotten Politics, you like this one. So you spread the word as well, mate, on your channel. Because the reason I'm doing this quick live stream, I don't normally do one on a Sunday. I'm fucking always working off a hangover. I was drinking with my nephew. It was his 18th birthday on Friday. So, absolutely mortal drunk with a couple of his mates around our house. One of them was covered in spew by about 9 o'clock, curled up in a ball on the kitchen floor. The other one physically shit himself at some point after midnight. And like it was up his fucking back. And no one else had touched him. But my old fella went and cleaned this kid up because he thought if he dies on our property, we'll be in trouble. And then the next morning, he said, oh, the lads have been on. So-and-so texted and said, thanks for, tell your mum sorry for spewing all over the kitchen. And then the other one texted him and said, thank your granddad for wiping my arsehole for me. So, yeah, that was quality. But normally don't do much on Sunday because my mind's melted. I'm dehydrated. Don't make a lot of sense. But I'm just doing this quickly because it's important and I reckon it's going to vanish off the internet very, very soon. So I wanted to cover it quickly, read it out, and everyone should share it. There's the fucking link for it, by the way. I'll put it in the chat. But I heard it on The Spectator. I was listening to The Spectator on the train, and David Davis was on there. And then Fraser Meyer was talking about it. And it was absolutely shocking what's gone on with the Crown Office. So I'm going to read you this story quick, not very funny, but I'll read you it and then share it, tell people about it, because it is proper a big deal. Like, they are massively taking the piss. The evidence has been out there for months, but they've just censored it. And now they're attacking them legally, saying you're not allowed to share it with people. So I'll read you the story quickly. I'll put on my posh reading accent, so if you share it with people, they can understand. Hello, I can do posh if I try. The power wielded by Nicola Sturgeon and her Scottish government means it's hard to hold her to account for basic policy failures. I can't do a posh voice without sounding like a dickhead. It's physically impossible for me. Of which, like, this is me trying to do my, what's he called? Trevor McDonald. Of which there are many. It's even harder to investigate accusations that her aides conspired to frame and imprison someone who had become a political problem for her. The Alex Salmond affair has shown the many ways the public prosecutors in the Crown Office, led by a member of Sturgeon's cabinet, have sought to censor and redact his allegations. The House of Commons is immune to the threats and menaces of government lawyers. The notion of parliamentary privilege, a cornerstone of British democracy, means that anything can be said within the walls of Parliament without fear of prosecution. David Davis, a senior Tory MP, we all know David Davis. It's not like he's some random dipshit just making stuff up. A senior Tory MP and lifelong member of the political awkward squad this week took advantage of that privilege to give a no-holds-barred version of the Salmond story, including new allegations. Under British law, the notion of parliamentary privilege is extended to publications, so the Spectator cannot come under legal attack for reporting what is said in Parliament. Here is what we now know for a fact, and like I said, this has been published in full for months. Salmond has suggested that the criminal allegations against him, he was acquitted of 13 charges of sexual abuse, were at least in part drummed up by Sturgeon's allies in the face of impending defeat in the judicial review and to remove him from public life. Sturgeon denies she and her allies were out to get him, but her defence has been littered with contradictions. She's a blatant liar. For instance, she said she only found out about the allegations against Salmond in early April 2018, when the internal inquiry was already underway. But Davis read the content of a message between civil servants heading the investigation into Salmond, which described interference in the complaints process by Liz Lloyd, Sturgeon's chief of staff. It was sent on 6th of February 2018, 2 months prior. If this is true, it's true. It means we're to believe Miss Lloyd, who worked closely with Miss Sturgeon than anyone, gave no hint about the bombshell allegations against Salmond for 2 months. Physically impossible. We're also asked to believe that Sturgeon's husband, the SNP's chief executive, told her nothing about them either. A fucking husband. Yeah, cheers easy, you little obnoxious, lying, poison dwarf. When Salmond published his evidence, journalists were given legal advice not to report important parts of it. To do so, ran the argument, would violate a court order to prevent the naming of complainants. Salmond's evidence names no one, so we published it on our website with one redaction to address this concern. Boom. Perfectly reasonable. Full evidence with no names in other than one redaction. We duly received a threatening letter from the Crown Office in Edinburgh, so we went to the High Court in Edinburgh and sought clarification. Was there any legal impediment to the Spectator repeating the Salmond allegations? This mattered because a Holyrood committee was also investigating them and wanted to publish Salmond's evidence too. The High Court raised no complaint about the publication, thereby giving the green light to the parliamentary inquiry. Salmond's evidence was published by Holyrood too, after which the Crown Office censors swooped on Holyrood and bullied Parliament into withdrawing the evidence. So the Crown Office is nakedly partisan in Scotland. They are trying to do a hush job on stuff that's been in the public square for fucking months. We can now disclose that the Crown Office is doing a clean-up job, seeking to expunge remnants of Salmond's evidence from the internet. It was ordered the Spectator to make further redactions to Salmond's submission. If we fail to comply, we've been advised we could face penalties in excess of £50,000. There is no cap, plus huge legal costs we would not recoup even if we win in court. It's quite a risk, so we must consider removing Salmond's evidence from our website. We take solace in the fact it has been available for all to read for many weeks now, and especially over the crucial period when Salmond and Sturgeon gave evidence to the Holyrood inquiry. This underlines the absurdity of the Crown Office's jackboot approach to a free press, in pursuit of an agenda which suits its political masters. Happily, the original text remains published by an Internet Archive service in California which permanently stores internet pages. This service is valued by researchers who seek originals of documents censored by authoritarian regimes. Fucking hell. So they're up there with Chairman Mao now, these assholes. Unbelievable. The Crown Office, as part of its clean-up operation, told us to delete this version too. Luckily, this is not in our gift. The Spectator opened its first editorial in 1828 with a credo written by its founding editor, a Dundonian named R.S. Rintoul. The principal object of a newspaper is to convey intelligence. The principal object of the Crown Office has not only been to stop intelligence being conveyed, but to delete intelligence from the public domain. Delete intelligence from the public domain. Rat bastards. Liars. What do I keep saying? They can't beat an honest man. They can't. I cannot lose. I would love to go on the radio and personally and attack Sturgeon on my own. I'd just be like, listen, I'll tell you some hard truths as a normal working class northern man, and you will be destroyed by my crudely put together argument, because I don't need to be an Oxford graduate. I don't need to have a posh RP accent. All I need to be doing is telling the fucking truth and have the right of it. And these weasels are trying to not only silence an old reputable magazine like The Spectator, but they're trying to delete the evidence from the internet. They've told them they have to take it, go back and retroactively delete records of it on the internet. And they've said, we can't. It's the fucking internet. You commie bastards. The hurdle in front of The Spectator now is great. The Crown Office even told us not to tell readers about its demand. The Crown Office told them not to tell us. Delete it all, delete it off the internet, and don't dare tell anyone that we told you to delete it. Yeah, cheers, cranky. Cheers. Well, I'm telling everyone. Yeah, because you can't make an honest man into a liar. I'm not going to even... That'll be lying by omission if I didn't tell everybody about it. So I'll tell everybody about it. And you should tell everybody about it. And Rotten Politics and anybody else who's watching this, Paz, anyone who sees it, fucking share it at least. Put it on your Facebook. Because this is disgraceful. We cannot be silent about its mendacious threats to free press. Even if we end up succumbing to its censorship, we can still put its methods on record. This is how the SNP government and its supine supporters operate. Their recently passed Hate Crime Act gives them even more power to menace the press. Scotland is being ushered towards an era of censorship, threats and state repression that even makes England's repressive state repression look fucking tame. And England's not a free country anymore either. What the SNP are doing here is Gestapo shit. Hounding a reputable... The Spectator is one of the oldest, most reputable, straight-talking magazines in the world. It's one of the oldest in-print publications that exists. It's a great magazine with a great reputation. And these scumbag, shitbag, weasel, rat, communist bastards in Scotland think they can force them to fucking threaten them with massive fines with no cap, force them to comply, force them to delete things from the internet, and worse than all of that, tell them, don't you dare inform the general public that we are forcing you to delete shit off the internet. That's what they told them. The good news for those who cherish the principles of democratic debate and those of the Scottish Enlightenment is that this will not happen without a fight. Fucking right it won't. I can't put it on Facebook because I'm banned. I'll put it on Twitter though. Let's do that. Scotland is sleepwalking. Let me have a look. Sleepwalking. Is that one word? I think so. Into, what would you call it? Skirt. Jackboots and skirts. I have to make a quip about a kilt being a dress. I'm from the northeast. It's ribbing the jocks is part of our raison d'etre, isn't it? If you're from the northeast. Sleepwalking into authoritarianism. It already is, I think. Oh, what did I miss out there? Google's spell thing is shit, by the way. All right, I'm talking, so I didn't type properly. Authoritarianism. It should have been able to get it. What was I missing? An I. Scotland is sleepwalking into authoritarianism. Share this. There we go. Seriously, it's absolutely shocking. That's all I've got to say about that. Gladstone, bugger off. We've had enough. I've already told my Gladstone small joke. I'll read the chat a bit and then I'm buggering off. Normally miss the live chats. Yeah, I don't normally do one on a Sunday, Meon. They are all criminal skin tone. Yes, indeed they are. All right, Johnny, skin tone. Yep, smack the like. You can do. I never remind people to do that. Scottish Nazi brats. Yes, they are. Al Bundy, check out the deep fake. Some of them are funny. I like the one we got with Trump hitting golf balls at the back of his head. Who else have I got? Stelling. Bunch of lightweights. Oh, you're on about them teenagers. Yep, kids today, soft as shite. The Stasi are trying to ruin Alex Belfield's life and the BBC sent them. I am sure they are. Kay, hello, how you doing? Always nice to see you. Charles, Origami Pig, Jeff, Tracy, everybody else. I am done. I'm not staying. I've got shit to do on a Sunday night. I always play a couple of games with a friend of mine online. So I'm going to go and do that. Drink 14 pints of water. Oh yeah, Dominic, I did read that. The UK Marines kicked some ass. Although I did think that future commando force is pretty Gucci and we do all this new fancy equipment and, you know, top level sneaky beaky shit. Bit silly to tell everyone about it, isn't it? We should have probably kept it quiet that we kicked the shit out of them. Which is completely against what we normally know about operations in built-up areas where you need massive amounts of manpower to take an area half your size or whatever. You need 5 times as many blokes as the defenders, basically. And yeah, they kicked some ass, so that was quality. But yeah, I'm not staying, guys. I'm done. So sorry to cut this one short. Please share that story. Not that story. That's a story about Gladstone Small. That story on the Spectator website. I'll share it in the chat again for you all. There it is. Please share it about. It is absolutely shocking. We are the SNP are just typical communists, and they really do need to be hauled over the coals for this. All right, dudes, I'm off. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all the support and the donations and everything. You guys are fucking top draw chaps and chapettes. I always will appreciate it. And I'll do a live stream tomorrow. Seeing as I've cut this one short, I spoil you fuckers. I know I do. Like it, share it. Don't forget to share the story around. And yeah, we're in the shit, aren't we? I guess I'll just have to keep on keeping on. Thanks, guys. See you very soon. Goodbye for now.